Okay guys, I just want to take a minute and show you what I'm doing right now. I built this, or got it framed up anyways, but it's basically 10 by 30 building made out of rough sawn lumber that was milled up by the lady's brother. A third of it, the interior wall right here, a third of it is going to be, this is going to be like a butcher room right here, and then over here is going to be, they're going to do meat birds and raise meat birds and other birds. So it's going to be a chicken coop. But what in this video I want to show you about plumbing and lining. These braces serve a purpose. If you got two guys and one guy can hold a, plate level, or I guess you can always use a plumb bob, but it's pretty hard to pry from this end down here. You'd put it on if the wall had to go that way. You'd nail in the top up there. Then you drive a cat's paw in down here, or whatever it takes to pry your wall this way to plumb. But the reason I nailed that one on like that is because the wall was good. It was perfect. So I just nailed that brace on there, left it. But typically I'm always going to do pull braces. Some people call them banjo braces, but basically a pull brace. So to plumb and line, like here, I'm doing it by myself. So this wall had to go this way, or no, it had to go this way. So what I did is I wanted to run all the way from the top. It's just better to have a longer brace here. So what I did is I nailed in the top up there, screwed it actually, came down here, drove a chisel behind this, and I pushed the wall this way farther than it had to be, okay? And then what I did, here, I'll show you. I haven't done this one yet because I was going to show you guys. But then what you do is you get about, it usually ends up about a 5-footer roughly. You can kind of put this thing anywhere you want. But basically just going to put it on the ground, get your shoulder up under this board, lift, pull this back, okay? Then you can climb up a ladder here. I'm going to make sure this wall's lined straight. Got all the corners plumb. And then I go line the walls, okay? You don't plumb up your interior walls. You just run a dry line down your long walls, get everything lined after it's plumb. A lot of you know this, but just showing the ones that don't. But here, so I pushed the wall this way farther than it needed to be, and then I just pulled it back to where it's exactly plumb. This thing's gonna stay here, it's not gonna move. So, as long as it's kind of at the right angle. Sometimes you might have to kick the bottom a little bit this way before you start prying. If it's straight up and down, it's gonna make it hard to pull, and stay there with not much angle. But so then I can go over here with my plate level, check plate to plate, make sure it's perfect. I could let off of this a little or bring it in a little bit more. And once it's good, I'm going to come put a screw or nail here. This one, I just ran it, somewhere where I can fasten the bottom so nothing's going to move on me. Here I'm working over a slab on this. Normally I would just nail or screw this end into the floor. But, here I just ran something back to keep it from popping out on me. So it's basically how you do it. Hopefully that makes sense. Get all your corners plumb, dry line the top of your walls. Make sure your dry line's up high enough where, let's finish this up right here. This was the last one I was going to show you. I always try to get these right here. Then it's low enough. As you can see here, I got this one. This is a ripped edge because I use normal 2x just to get better. I bought the stuff for the plates just so I had a little bit better nailing, because if I was using a 2-inch thick board here for plate stock, I'm not going to have, they had the wood kind of here, but long stuff wasn't that great. So I'm not going to have much nailing. So I just got 2x and ripped them down for the plates. So, but this is pretty darn good right here. I think I'm going to call this wall good. But you want to make sure your string's up off of the, and it's going to sag in the center. So keep it up on the ends. And yeah, another tip, snap your rakes out on the floor. Don't use a calculator. Draw it all out on the floor, snap it out on the floor, draw your stuff in there. Pull your layout across the top. You don't need to snap all your studs. Just come across and make little pencil marks where they meet the thing. I get my plate on the other end, then I run all these wild. I go along, mark them all, right? LP or SP for long point, short point, and then just come back with the saw boom. I mean, this money wall right here with just studs in it didn't take me any time at all. Okay, guys, so the reason we plumb and line, I forgot to mention this, is we want to get everything perfect, okay? Before we go putting siding on, you know, if I'm going to build these walls on a normal house and I'm building them laying down on a wood floor, you know, I'm going to put the sheathing on. I'm going to put the shear on there. I'm going to nail off square up my walls, nail off the top third of the wall. So when I stand it up, you know, I can still plumb and line and get everything perfect before I nail off all my shear, and it just locks everything in. And I usually will have my roof on, nailed off, all that before these braces come off, okay? These are just, I'm shooting for perfection here. Nothing's ever perfect, but I'm shooting for it, okay? And you're just not gonna fight things in a house. You're gonna be able to go smooth. You're gonna be able to cut all your rafters off a pattern exactly the same. They're all gonna work. You know, I don't have to even climb up there to measure anything for a rafter. I can cut it. They're all gonna work, and it's going to be all good. So just remember that, guys. Take your time, you know, get this stuff right on, and you're not going to fight stuff. It's going to be, you think you're saving time cutting corners, you know, not putting a brace on there that's needed to get it perfectly lined, you know, not worrying about getting things perfectly plumb. You're holding a 4-foot level on your wall to plumb it instead of going plate to plate with a plumb bob or a Stabila plate level like that. I'm telling you guys, you get a good system of doing things right, and everything is going to go so much faster, cleaner. You're not going to fight stuff. It's just going to, it's going to improve it. And once you get all that, you're always working on efficiency, least amount of steps as possible. That's it. I hope this helps you guys plumb and line and shoot for perfection. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Really helps me out. Gets me motivated to do more of these videos. It helps push them out there. Once again, you guys have a good day.